Alright guys, so for these sessions we will start with something simple. So you can see this scenery is not quite hard to draw, and then you can see the simplicity of the overall scenery is quite peaceful and very nice to look at. So you can see it is like separately into half is the sky and then the other half is the landscape. So for the clouds part, we will use the wet on wet technique to create the impressions of the clouds, and then the grass, you can see the foreground here, we will use the wet on wet also, and then you can see the two different types of grass also. And then for the tree here, we will use a bit of impression and simplify wet brushes as well. And then the road here is the dry brush. So without further ado, let me show you how am I going to draw this. But before that, we need to do the masking. Same, the masking part is either 5 mm or 1 cm for the white border. And press it very hard. Okay, and then the top part. And then the side. Alright, and then I use the pen knife to cut off this. Alright, okay, right now I'm going to use my 2H pencil to capture the outline. Okay, the first outline that you need to capture is this landing line of the hill. It is starting from almost the half, yes, okay, starting from the half of the paper here, and then slowly go downwards. Just like that. Alright, and then the road, you can see this one is like that, going to here. So this angle here is not totally center, just slightly on the left, like that. And then this is the end of the road there. And this one will be curving part of the road, go straight and then down. Okay, and this one is slightly, the road will be turning in. And then this is the grass in the foreground here. Slightly like that, and this one is a small little hill, and I can see the line of the grass will be like this and then go towards the end. And then here you can see this continue, the small little hill continue down. So this one is the far one, this one is the nearer one, and then the different grasses type like that. And then the tree, you can just draw a circle like that. Okay, and then here also got another tree. Simplify the shape. And then the tree trunk. And then the far away, the behind here got small little tree. So you just draw an impression. Okay, no need to be very detailed. Okay, and then here you can see the shadow. Draw out the shadow first. Then the tree, you can see this one, the main one is like that, so it's slightly higher. The main one is like this, the big tree, and going down a bit. And then the tree trunk to here, and now the rest of the part here got small little bundle here, a small little tree trunk. And then behind here also got still some small little tree trunk. Then this one is another. Alright, so just like that. So this will be the shadow, bottom part of the trees. And these are the small little tree behind. And then the green grass is here, the yellowish grass is there. This is the road. and then make sure the outline you keep it as light as possible. And then for the clouds area, you don't need to draw anything. Okay, you don't need to draw any outline. If you want to draw, also can, but once you apply the color, the watercolor on it, right, you might not be able to erase the pencil outline. Okay, so we are going to paint only the blue sky here, and then the rest we will leave it. So this whole thing we will use the wet on wet technique to do it. So right now I'm going to show you how am I going to do it. First I set up the reference. Okay, and now I'm going to start showing you how am I going to start painting this. So right now I'm going to start, but first you can see my palette here is quite dirty, so I need to clean it up first. So you just put a bit of water, apply on it. Okay, you just wash it slightly, wash away this area because I'm going to mix the color for the sky. Okay, clean up this big brush and then use another cloth, slightly wipe off. Alright. Okay, now this area is clean already. So before you start putting the wet on wet, right, you need to mix out the color that you need for the sky. So this is the blue that I'm going to use. So try to take out as many as possible. So if the more water that you put, the color will become dilute. So if you use less water, the color will become very concentrated. So this is the sky blue that I'm going to use. And then you can apply a bit of purple color, purplish blue. So this one is the purple color. Later we are going to use in certain area to make the sky color more dynamic. Okay, so take back this one, put it here. And then before I start applying the sky color, put the base water first using the big brush. Yes, slightly touches a bit on the tree is okay because the tree behind is slightly darker than the sky color. Okay, and then try to make the water evenly spread throughout the whole paper, and then unwanted water, if the water is too much, right, you just push it aside to the board. So you won't leave any the water pool inside. Okay, just put away and then make sure it is evenly spread. Okay, that's all. Then put this one on this part. Now is the sky color. So there's one big cloud there, right? So try not to touch us there. Then here, got another cloud. Okay, and then put some smaller cloud here. So the white area is the cloud. Okay, and then the purple color you can apply on the area here to make the sky looks more dynamic. Alright, then while it's still wet, you can add a bit of grayish tone for the shadow of the cloud. Just apply slightly a bit on the bottom area of the cloud. And too much water, let me use the cloth, take out the color first. Yeah, just like that, and then you can just wait for it to dry, right? So to fasten the drying process, you can use your hairdryer. I'm going to use my hairdryer. Right, as you can see, the sky color is perfect. Very, very nice. So right now I can do this part. I will do this area, or I can do this area first. So for this area, you just apply a clean color first, a clean yellow color. Okay, but you can use the wet on wet technique as well. First, you use the big brush. Make sure the color is dry already. Okay, just like that, and then I see here got too much water. Try to take away it. Alright, then you apply the base tone, the yellowish color. Okay, just apply on everything here. Okay, and then apply a bit of orange inside this so that it has more dynamic. The tone changes is more dynamic. Alright, and the green color. Okay, and then the bottom area here is slightly darker, so you put the green and then dark blue. Alright, okay, and then the dark blue, put it here mixed with a bit of brown. I'm going to do the shadow there while the color is still wet. Okay, and then apply a bit of brown color. And then now you can use a smaller brush to do the detailing on the shadow. So if you do like this, right, using the wet on wet, do the grass first, if it looks very natural, especially when it comes to the shadow part. You see the blending area? Very natural. And now you can come to the front part here, you can do some darker tone for the grass. So you put some strokes there to create the impressions of the grass detail. Yeah, just like that. Now you're going to leave it dry. So I can do this part also. Put water, the base water layer. Now make sure the water is evenly spread. Base tone. Okay, and then the grass. Okay, you can do some line and strokes like that. So you can see in the between, right, there's layers of grasses also. So no need to draw like the whole thing with this green color. You can just do certain part with that green. This one is another different types of green color. For the shadow area here. And then some darker blue in the area here. And now use a smaller brush. Okay, the grass area here on the foreground is very dark, so make sure you mix with brown with blue to create a very natural warm black. Okay, while the paper is slowly drying, right, so you can add a more sharp details already. Until it's fully dry, then you add. You need to add while the paper is slowly going to dry, so that the details won't be too obvious, but it's slightly a bit bluish kind of brush, and it makes it looks very nice. Okay, a few more very dark brush here. Now after it is done, right, you just leave it, and then I'm going to use the hairdryer to hairdry it. Okay, then use a clean cloth, wipe off the rest of the water. Alright. Yeah, now I'm going to draw a bit of base tone here. So this one is a very green grass. Okay, using the sky blue, like this. Okay, and then mix with this yellowish tone to create a very light bluish green color. And then you just simply apply one single layer like that. Put a bit more water. And while it's still kind of wet, right? Draw this one. Okay, and then few lines. Okay. Now we can do this tree. So I'm going to use a size 4. The brush size number 4. And then use the base tone. This one. And then mix with a bit with the blue color. Not the dark blue, but slightly darker blue. Okay, and then just draw like that. Okay, and then the behind here, the big tree also, you need to draw it out. And then after you have done this base color, then you need to mix the darker green for the shadow of the tree. So just straight away take this color from the bottom, then put a bit more. And the bottom area here will be the shadow. And the tree trunk. Okay, the tree trunk is very dark. You can use the blue color mixed with the dark brown. And then put this darker shadow here. And then put some darker leaves in the bottom. And then clean up your brush. To make it more natural, you slightly wash this one to make it blur, okay? So it won't be too obvious. Suddenly jump too fast on the shadow. So blur a bit. Okay, nice. And then here, put some shadow on the grass also. The continuity of the shadow area. And then some layer of shadow here as well. Then I'm going to use a smaller brush to add a little lips. These little details will make it look more natural. Okay, now come to this area. Okay, straight away apply. Okay, dark blue for the darker tone. Okay, a bit of the shadow, the bottom part of the tree. Clean up the brush and then slightly use a bit of water to wash and make sure you blend the shadow on the bottom to make it look natural. Okay, just like that. And now this one, the tree behind, you can use the lighter toner, don't need to be so dark. So you use this green and mix with the light blue here. Because it's far away, right, you can modify the colors a bit bluish tone. And if you make the color of the object slowly have color of the sky, right, if you make it visually looks very far away. So this is one of the tips and tricks that I can teach you. So slowly it becomes bluish tone, so you can add more blue color. Put more water to dilute the blue color here. Yeah, too wet. Alright. And now the final part will be this road. Yeah, the road here we will use the dry on dry. Dry brushes and then paint on the dry surface. So try to make your brush very dry. Gray mixed with a bit of brownish color. So you can see using a dry brush creates a very nice texture. Add a bit more brown color. Okay, too dry. Then the puff. Okay, slightly take another layer of tone here. Okay, a bit of brown color here. Okay, now the road is done. You can still add a bit of what we call the very high definition detail on the grass. So blue, slightly dark green. So these are the very high definition. So it's a wet brush on the dry surface. So create your grass, make it look more random and natural. Alright, I believe it is done. And now I'm going to put my signature. I will put it here. Alright, that's all. Okay, and then I'm going to hair dry it. And after it dry, you can peel off the masking tape, and then you can see the very nice white border. Very nice white border frame there. Alright, so that's it. And then there are some pencil outline, like for example like here, you can still erase it using your art eraser. But only erase once it is dry. You don't erase while it's still a bit wet. Need to be totally dry. Okay, that's all. So hopefully you enjoyed these sessions. And then now it's your turn to do some practice. So this one should be considered a very beginners friendly reference. Okay, thank you.